All right, so as you can see, I've done one round with these aquarelle colored pencils, so the Koh-i-Noors. I really want this so much darker, but I'm really trying to figure out what I want to do for the leaves. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and kind of try to see if I can find something that really makes me, like, inspire me as to what I'm going to do. But I do know that I'm going to go probably back over. So there's been a little bit of buckling with the paper, as you would expect. But the actual paper itself's not been destroyed in any way. So, and then as this over the year, you know, you just keep putting these on top of it. But it's kind of an art journal, and that's kind of the idea, is to just play around and try things. But just know that if you do this in your regular Johanna Bamford, that there will be some crinkling, most likely. But you also have where you can press the book back into some form of shape. I can't promise it'll be back to as it was before you added water. So I'm going to go look for some inspiration, because I kind of want to start messing with the leaves and figuring out, and then I can always come back in with the background. But I do like the look so far, and I really enjoyed these pencils. They really are working wonderful, and they dissolved like butter, which was really nice, and it's created a nice effect. I just want a more intense one. All right, so I went out and got my inspiration, and I'll share that with you right now, as far as what I'm kind of trying to achieve. But I've already started coloring in, but I wanted to come in, and this is with your yellow green. All right, so I'm going in with the yellow green, and just kind of any of the spots that I think we would see the green of a leaf peeking through. So we're going to get very dark on the outside edges. Maybe. And the good news is that most of these type of pictures are exact mirrors of the left and the right side, so there and there. So I can kind of use what I've already done as my guide where I'm going. Going in very lightly. Still don't know what I'm going to do about the little bird, but that might be our last little guy. He doesn't have a whole lot of light because of where he's at, but he has some. You know what, I'm going to bring you down a little bit closer. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. So you see here, there's the bird. If you go over here, there's the leaf. So she had a leaf over here, but the leaf is gone. I guess the bird ate the leaf. So now I'm going to come in with this palm leaf and just kind of start adding a little bit of green in here to these leaves. And I like this palm leaf because it's got a yellow in it, so it's like the yellow is casting onto the leaves. So that's good to have that kind of color in there. And remember, with these Crayolas, I'm having to be very light and just be patient and add the colors. Alright, now I'm going to go in with some blues and just keep going out, because I feel like once I get kind of these base colors decided, I can probably go ahead and, let me see, I need to see my choices here of blues. So I decided to go for the green blue. All right, so I'm coming in with the green blue, and we're going to start doing the next kind of outer leaves. And I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking at this photo and trying to think backwards, and that's kind of what I do whenever I color. I usually start from the lightest colors and make sure and get those in first and foremost because you know your darker colors are going to start showing up on it or start covering up your lighter. So I need to get the lights in my mind when I'm doing pencils and stuff. Now I think, I don't know, you know, it might be different using different mediums, but I usually always start from my lightest hint of color other than white, because white, which is always added kind of with the Posca or whatever, comes in at the end. But I am always looking to go, what is my lightest color, and kind of start with that. So this will be the lightest blue probably on these leaves on the outside. I'm adding some back in, so you see here I'm kind of going into the green a little bit because I want that transition to start building already. So it's not as harsh, but again, once we get away from the light, we're going to see some big shadows. So, I mean, this whole bottom of the tree might even be in shadow by the time I get done. But again, things that I wouldn't normally do, that's what I'm doing in this book. Alright, so now we're going to the next ring, which is going to be quite dark, so I need to choose wisely. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the navy blue. Alright, so I've decided to go with the navy blue, and I'm just going to start from the outside. It's just easier, so to start coloring in, because these might all eventually, ooh, that is really dark. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about, I'm just going to do some of the tips here for right now. It's not that it won't end up darker, I'm just conscious that the blue that I have behind it right here, excuse me, is so much lighter. So, but that could all change. So you know what? I'm gonna make myself go for it. We're just gonna go around and color in with navy blue all the way. All right, so I'm bringing in this cerulean blue to bridge the gap, as you can see, this white gap between that I just put down, the lighter blue that I started with, and move into that navy blue. All right, so I've put in all the base layers, and I'm just going to start working to get the blend going. I'm going to be going in from here and then out, and then see if I want to add more color in. So this is a really kind of, I don't know, it's experimental, and I'll probably bring you in once I get really comfortable with the color scheme that I've got going. Again, this isn't a color tutorial. This is just me coloring and playing around and doing a check-in and kind of getting a moment to come say hi and let everybody know that I am still coloring. I'm just having to develop that habit again. And then also to encourage people to take something like a small book like this and maybe start a daily ritual of 30 minutes a day of just coloring and then putting everything away. And if you keep your supplies simple, like I've done, it makes putting things away so much easier. So I'm more likely to put it away. I'm more likely to take it back out the next day. So off I go. So as you can see, this is kind of the idea, is to continue darkening and then lightening as I go in. So I thought I would just bring in, so this is after about 25-30 minutes of coloring. And I just wanted to kind of go through some of the color choices and what I'm doing. So again, you know, a very limited palette of 6 colors. And what I'm kind of doing is going in with the outer space, which is a very, very almost black, but there's still a blue. And I go in, and anything I feel is going to be really heavy shaded. So down in here you can see how dark it can get. I just go in and start putting in very lightly again. Now I have such great news to report. The Crayolas are behaving gorgeously in this book. I was nervous when I was doing the swatches, when I was planning. I think the lighter colors, you have to just give them time. But I have been so happy with how well these guys are performing in here. And they just layer and layer. You can see how deep the colors are getting. So very happy about that. Because I got this set of 100 Crayolas on sale at Michael's. They had a Crayola sale for $13.99. 100 pencils, and then also the flesh colored ones, the various skin tone ones were also available and were on sale. So I picked that up, and I think that's another 20 or 24. Can't remember. Pencils. So heck of a deal. And the colors are, most of them are quite different. There's a couple that are kind of close to one another, but I am more than fine with that. But at $13.99, you can't beat it, and it just is performing beautifully in this book. So so here I go in, and I'm just really heavily putting in the shadowing, kind of looking at, you can see. Now this it could be a very busy picture as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm coming in with the palm leaf. And what I want to do is just do a little bit of highlights here and there. Not a lot, just a hint. If we look over here, we'll see a little bit. But I find that this kind of lightens some of the areas and also just tends to blend really well. You don't see a huge amount, but the colors I subsequently put on really kind of highlight these. So these are my darkest. These are my darkest, and then we're going to come in and start lightening. And we're really getting a glow is the idea. And I put it down on the tree limb as well. Coming down just the edges, thinking again, where would the most light be? And just kind of putting it, so this is a great, great color combination for me. And similar to the last page, or the original page that I did to this one, really look at these leaves as individuals. I don't do too many at one time, and it just helps me keep balancing the color and the gradient. All right. And I do keep them in some semblance of orders as I'm going through them. I just kind of keep throwing them like that. And I'm just going from dark to light in this case. and knowing that this background, these ones far, far away from the source of light, are going to be some of the darkest. So let me just bring you in just a little bit closer, and I'll just show you on this leaf what I'm doing. So I start coming in, always thinking, where's the darkest spot, and then fade out just a little bit. And that was that navy blue. I'll put that over here, actually. Put the ones that I've used already on this leaf, on this side. And again, having the less amount of colors, I can kind of do this. All right, so now I'm just coming in with the cerulean, and we're going to just start putting just a few little pops. This is mostly dark, but I do like that little pop here and there of color. That's the green blue. So coming in with this green blue, just a little bit. I'm going to do it very lightly. I don't want too much on this. And I'm just going to hit a couple of these leaves out here because I'm about to get really dark again. And just having little hints of it. Now, I don't even know if at this point, if you're going to be able to see these leaves when I finish doing the darkening around. But again, because it's such a process with me, I do want to go ahead and put in the time and effort. But if I decide to kind of block it out eventually with a really, really dark color or come back over it, then that's what I will do. And now I'm just going to start going back and darkening up because I feel like I can have the confidence, and that's again coming in with that outer space. Love the names of the Crayolas. With that navy blue. And this, after about the third or fourth, you really start feeling them blend and you see them blend, which is really, really great, I think. Still so shocked at how well they are doing. Just wow. So happy. And then I just keep going until I end up with these really vivid colors. I'm coming back in with this green blue. We're gonna start hitting some of these that I want a heavier green blue transition in. And I think that's one of the challenges with something like when you're doing gradients is you have to have the patience to do it gradually, and it's, you know, trying to make it even all the way around. You know, do lean back, look to see what you're doing as you go through this, make sure it, I lean back and kind of look at the whole picture and kind of go, does this particular, like if you look down here, this gradient in, and so start making this match this gradient and then work my way all the way around. Always go lighter. That's what I feel. I go very, very light. I can always add. And again, you don't want to break the tooth. Now remember, some of this has been paper that's been wet, and it's held up just fine. And again, it has a lot to do with those Koh-i-Noor's watercolor pencils that they don't take much water to just break down into more of a smooth and to mix. So. All right, so I'm going to continue on going all the way around to kind of darken this up and work on this. So hope that you've enjoyed this next day of, this next day of coloring. I'm hoping to get quite a lot more done. It is looking more and more like that the bottom half, the tree half down here, is going to get really, really dark, I think. I don't know that I'm going to work a whole lot. I'll put some hints of probably reflection with what might be above the ground, and then the rest of it is probably going to just disappear. But again, I would never have thought to do this or have the courage to do it in one of her typical books. So fingers crossed this turns out. I'm enjoying the color combination a lot right now. So I hope you're having a great day, and I will come back tomorrow and we can check in to see what my progress is. Hello everyone. It is the last day that I am filming, and I'm almost completely done with my picture for this week, which is week 1 of 2022. And I have to say, it's been a lot of fun. It is really different for me. I really do like the watercolors in it. And there's just a few little tweaks that I'm going to continue to do here. I have done some outlining in white just because I want it to be kind of highlighted. And then I'm going to go in with the blue, the light blue that I have. Which one is this? This one is cerulean. And just kind of go across there because I want it kind of as a bit of a highlight, but it doesn't need to be quite that blue or that white. So we're just taking it down a little bit. And that was just with a little Posca pen. So underneath the tree, as you can see, I've kind of just colored it all the way in and made it very shadowy. But there are some diamonds in here, or some jewels underneath the tree. I only chose these 2, and we're going to have them kind of sparkling underneath the tree. Because again, it's a magical tree. And let's see, we're going to go up here with like I said, I don't want all these whites to be quite so bright. So we're just going to go over them with this green a little bit. So overall, this has been quite a project. At the same time, it was much quicker than it would have been had I done my normal coloring and not used the watercolors. I think it's quite dramatic and different, very fantastical. I think the colors lend to that. It's not realistic. Her trees, when she does all these little things and roots, I find them very challenging for me to, go in and color each individual leaf, but make it kind of look more realistic. I have seen such beautiful ones of these done, whether it be in rainbow colors, and I really do love how people, it's just not my typical coloring. However, the whole point of this little journal, this little planner, is to get me doing coloring not only on a daily basis to get that habit back into form, but also to really let me try things I don't normally try and let me see what I think about them. Now, I'm a little bit ambivalent about this area right here. I almost felt like these all need to just be so dark because it's like the light was behind it. But, when you're trying to color every day and you are trying to finish a page a week, and you know, these are smaller pictures, I kind of just tell myself, relax, let it go, just finish out the page. It doesn't have to be realistic, and that could be just an incredible bright glow. And so, you know what? It was very freeing. So it's been a great week. I really didn't do anything with the bird. I just kind of left it there. But what fun to start off with something as different as this for me. And this is, again, if you've watched any of my videos, my coloring videos, this is a very different kind of picture. But I really loved it. I loved the planning all the way to the actual execution. I did come back in and darken up the watercolor in the background. In fact, let me put a picture up of this before the watercolor was applied, because I did take a quick little picture. So you can see in these pictures how different they look and how much more intense, and I really do like it. Now, yes, it did, you know, wrinkle, and it's crispy, but that's okay. As we keep going, it's probably going to get really messy and, you know, won't lie as flat. So, but it is this is my version of an art journal. So I am so happy to be doing this, and I'm looking forward. Next week is more in my wheelhouse. So if we look ahead, definitely flowers, those kind of things. But I'm wondering, do I want to bring in the watercolor some more? Do I just want to do straight coloring? You know, or maybe I just do the background. I have already, this is from, as you can tell, it's from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I have already colored this page in Ivy, and I'll show you that next week. So I'm trying to go, how can I go completely opposite of what I did for that? So I'm really trying to think what I might want to do here. So I'm going to be looking out on Pinterest and stuff and look for some inspiration, just find something, maybe a color palette, whatever. And then, of course, I'll be doing what I did before, which is plan out. So that'll be this weekend. And I like doing that on the weekends. I don't actually, and I might even start coloring before. I'll take a, you know, I'll have a picture of this, the beforehand. But if I start coloring or doing stuff on the weekend, because we're going to be here in the house quite a lot this weekend. So I might just want to grab this and start going after it. But it's been a great first week. I feel really good. I hope you got some coloring in as well. And maybe just with these short little check-ins, you guys will find time to do some coloring for yourselves. Sometimes I might do more of a series if I think that there's a reason for that. But these are really just little chats for us to catch up. I didn't tell a whole lot going on with my life. Maybe next week we will, because I don't think there's going to be any really new stuff. I'm just going to enjoy coloring some flowers. It's supposed to snow this weekend, so it might be a perfect time to color some bright colors. And I don't know. I'll have to go see what is going to inspire me for this week. Let me know what you're coloring. Let me know if you have this planner or something like it. If you have a past planner, and who cares what the dates are, you know, bring it out. These smaller pictures are very manageable, and you can just try stuff that you've never tried before. So on to week number 2 of January. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. And as I always say, keep coloring those pages. Bye for now.